The city man has reached a plea agreement with prosecutors after he was initially charged with second-degree murder. 34-year-old Michael White Thunder has pleaded guilty to charges of voluntary manslaughter and willful injury in the September 2024 death of 65-year-old Brett Siebold. Now, in the plea agreement, White Thunder admitted to throwing a brick at Siebold's head with the intent to cause him serious injury. Siebold died as a result of being hit in the head by the brick. White Thunder faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison on each charge. Now, he's due to be sentenced November 25th.